Hello to all my friends gathered at Grand Portage Lodge. I think you know that I would much rather be there with you in person at that great lodge, but there's just a few things going on in Washington right now. You've probably heard about it, and I'm just glad to join you via video. I want to thank the Heart of the Continent Partnership and everyone participating in this year's International Community Congress. You're all doing great work to strengthen the key partnership that our state enjoys with Canada and to preserve the wild beauty of northern Minnesota's great outdoors. From Gunflint Trail in Superior National Forest to the lakes of Voyageurs to the waterfall in the Pigeon River in Grand Portage State Park, Minnesota is home to some of the nation's most awe-inspiring public lands. I know it personally because that's where I like to go to hang out in the summer. And they aren't just natural wonders either. For the communities that surround them, Minnesota's public lands are economic hubs. Voyageurs National Park alone generates $11 million in annual spending and supports 200 local jobs. So fundamentally, the discussion you're having today is about that beautiful area, but it's also about jobs and better opportunities for our businesses, for our restaurants, hotels, gift shops, fishing tour operators. The list goes on, and it all adds up. I mentioned fishing boat tours because there's a really amazing number out there about how much people in Minnesota spend on worms. How much do you think? Come on, you guys, guess. I can't hear you, but just guess. Did anyone say $50 million? $50 million every year on worms and bait, just for recreational fishing. Bet you didn't know that that little worm could pack such an economic punch. It's just a great example. The number alone gives you a sense of how important outdoor recreation is to our state economy. It's helped make tourism Minnesota's 5th largest sector, generating $11 billion in annual sales and accounting for nearly 11% of our private sector workforce. I'm one of the co-chairs of the Bipartisan Senate Tourism Caucus, and I'm the chair of the Commerce Subcommittee that handles tourist issues. I'm focused on policies to boost this critical economic sector of tourism. I've worked to increase the role of national parks in supporting tourism. Last year, we passed the Bipartisan Travel Promotion Act. That legislation will increase the country's share of the global travel market. It's critical because whether it's the individual traveling for business or the family visiting for vacation, each and every foreign tourist spends on average $4,000 when they come to the United States. I've introduced a bill with my friend Republican Senator Roy Blunt, the co-chair of our Tourism Caucus, to address the issue of visa wait times. Our bill would streamline the process for approving travel visas to the U.S., cutting back on the excessively long wait lines that have historically discouraged people from visiting our country. In Minnesota, we know just how important international tourism is, not just for our businesses, but for strengthening diplomacy and key economic partnerships. After all, we share the largest undefended border in the world with our neighbors up north, a border that allows for a consistent stream of international commerce through the flow of both people and goods. As co-chair of the U.S.-Canada Interparliamentary Group, I've been working to keep that flow steady and consistent, to streamline and improve the networks along our common border. One of the important steps we've taken in this area was our successful push for the creation of a U.S. passport card, a cheaper and more convenient alternative to the traditional passport. And the work that you're doing today, right in Grand Portage, is another key effort in maintaining this important friendship. I haven't been up to Grand Portage for about a year, but my most memorable trip up there was a time when I rode my bike all the way up to the Canadian border with my best friend Amy, that beautiful, beautiful ride with just a few too many hills. Thank you so much for everything you're doing to strengthen our economy, protect our public lands, and preserve our state's amazing nature and wildlife. Have a great time today and keep up the great work.